All right, Terry Caliendo, Dedicated Managers, back again. In the last couple videos, I talked about building the main template structure, the header and the footer with the content area. And then in the last video, I showed how to make the layout look decent in various screen sizes using the responsive part of Oxygen Builder. So I think I said at the end of that video I was going to talk about the video page, but actually I want to talk about the home page first. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish building up this this page here just to show how easy it is to build up a page. So it starts out with this picture right here. So here is the editor here. I've already got it loaded. The header and the footer, they're actually loaded in the view, so you can see what your whole page looks like. But I am editing the home page because I'm editing the inner content. If you remember, the inner content was that center area of the main template. So first thing I need to do is put an image in this center area. So I have this heading here. I'm going to get rid of this heading, and I could put in a slider. That's if you had multiple pictures and you wanted them to slide across. Oxygen has that built in, which is pretty cool. I don't love the sliders that much. I like just a static picture. I might do some programming at some point to have that picture change each time the page is loaded, but I don't love the sliders that slide across, especially when it comes to mobile. It squeezes up and looks a little small, so I like to just put an image there. So let's add I want that image to stretch all the way, so I'm not going to put a section in there, and I think this is why I didn't have a section around it before. We'll see that in a second, so I can remove it from the main template. But let's put a div in there, and then let's put a image inside of that div. So that comes with a placeholder, which is pretty cool, but I am going to nope, don't want to do that. I am going to I thought I could pull it from the URL, but it looks like I've got to oops, back up. What am I looking for here? Downloads, see site. There's the video right there. All right. So let's select that image and insert it, and it gets put there. And you notice it doesn't go all the way to the edges, and that's because my my template has a section there which gives that padding. So I have to go and remove that section from the template. But anyway, you can see this is the image here, and a little bit too much spacing there, but I got to go fix that in the template as well. But that gets the image there, and then below that I've got the tour dates header, and then an image, and then a button. So I will add below that a section because I want it to look good. So I'm going to go back to the content. I'll add a section. Where did that go? Did I not click it hard enough? There it is. Now there's a section. Within that section, I want to add a heading, and then I want to add an image, and then I want to add a button. So there they are there. I'll go back to the section. You can see my heading, image, and button. I will style the section so that everything stacks, the divs all stack vertically, and then I'll center them. I'll change this to tour. I think that's what I had, something like that. Live tour dates. And then this image I will upload right there. There it is right there, looking good. And then this button, what do I have for the text? I have tour schedule. And we can go back and quickly style this up a little bit, give this a bigger font size. And remember, I'm working at the top level right now, and it cascades down, so this will affect everything below it. So when we get to smaller sizes, we'll probably want to adjust things a little bit. We want to get that big, a little bit bigger, make the button size a little bigger, and then the text size. We could go with a real big button there on a big screen. Pretty simple there. Maybe put a little spacing between the two, and maybe a little more spacing. Let's get to the section, and I'll just put a little extra spacing between these two here. Maybe a little too much. All right, so there's the page. This is a little too much space for me here, but remember that's part of the template. I can't, my inner content ends here, so I can't fix that from this view. I have to fix it in the main template. And then below that, I believe I had a couple videos. So here, a couple YouTube videos. And to make things easy, you could use Flexbox, but I want those videos to be side by side on bigger screens and then above each other on smaller screens. And I could do that with a well-configured Flexbox, but Oxygen actually makes it easier with the columns, if I can find it. Maybe it was in the basics. There it is, columns. And so I'm going to make a 2x2 column, and then in each column I will add a video, YouTube video. They make it easy to add YouTube videos, and they love what's his name? Let's see, add a second video. There it is, and then I'll just go and get those links. So copy link address, and I'll paste it into here. Oops, I think I copied it before I pasted it. Nope, there it is. And then I've got them backwards, but watch this. Copy link address. I'll put it in the URL field for this one. And now you can see that they're out of order. So what I can do is actually just drag this one up here, and then this one down here, and that'll switch them. So that's the cool thing about being able to manipulate the structure. This is actually the document object model. You can just manipulate it at your will, which is pretty cool. These columns should not be a part of that section. And this is where help me out here. Oxygen can be difficult sometimes in that it's not recognizing that I want to pull that out. So I'm going to actually probably just drag it up here so that it becomes its own. And then I'll close the section and I'll drop it. Is it going to make me put it in a section? Maybe that's the problem. Let's see if I can drag this above. And then oh, come on, Oxygen. Making me look bad here. Hang on one second, let me pause this and figure it out. Well, it looks like all I had to do was close this up here. I just want to show this first. So, this is the order now is where it comes the image, and then that's this. The image is here, and then here's the two columns. That's this section, and then the section below it, which is this. And watch how if I close this up, it makes it easier to manipulate. At least it did last time. Come on. Oh, when I pause the video, it works. There we go. So a little bit, this is a bug in Oxygen. Not really a bug, but it's the UI. They're working on it. It's still a new program. Anyway, got it to work there. So now I've got the videos below the main image. And let's see. Yeah, sure. All right, let's put a little more space here. Then we've got the two videos, and then I think I've got one just one big video below that. So below the columns there, I've got a section, I think. So let's add a section below and then add to that a YouTube video. I'll copy the link address, put it in there, and there you go. So, and I think I have a button below that, so we can add a button below there. This section, we now want to center everything, and let's give a little bit of space there, and then say more videos. So there you go. Quickly created a page. I think I spent the most time on trying to get those sections to the structure to reorder. But if we take a look at the front end, we should see that our development website now looks about like the main website. And if we inspect it and see how it does at smaller sizes, so as we shrink it down, again, I don't like this space, and you know, look, this got giant. So we would go back into the editor here, and we would shrink down to say 992. Let's go one smaller, 768. I don't know why that's scrolling to the bottom like that, but that's too big for 768, so we can now shrink the font size down, and we can shrink this font size down to about there. And notice the columns. So the columns before, these two guys were side by side. The columns are set to stack vertically at a certain point, 992 it looks like. So if we go back up to here, they'll be next to each other. So this is like on a iPad, an older iPad. So it stays the same until we get down to that smaller size, and then the things start to adjust and get smaller. So I'll save that, view it again on the front end, and this time that should shrink down to look nice. And then as you get bigger, it pops to the bigger size. So we're still on that mid size because these two are stacked vertically. But once we hit the break point, there we go. Now those two are next to each other. And then we've got the tour dates and that major picture. So let me go in and fix this little bit of spacing right here. It's annoying me. So I will come out of this mode, and I will actually go to, I got to go into the templates. So I'll go into the dev here, close this, go to Oxygen, templates. Here's my main template. I'll edit that. I'm going to pause it while this loads. All right, here it is. It loaded. And let's see, what was I going to do? I was just going to play with this right here, this spacing in this section. So there's where that extra spacing is coming from. And I can just get rid of a little bit of that space. And I think I had said I actually wanted to take the inner content out of the section so that the image would stretch all the way to the edge, and then I will go back and add a little bit of space back. And so save that. Remember, I was working at the highest level, at least I think I was. I gotta click on something to get that. Yeah, so let's save that. And let's take a look at the front end. Back at the home page, so there we are. Now the image stretches as far as big as the image is, right? The image, my screen is too big, there's a space over here, so I actually need to make this size and spacing. Oh, the width is 100%, am I on the right thing? That's the inner content, but I'd have to go to the page. So let's edit the page. I'm going to pause it for a second. All right, the page is loaded here. And if I look at this, the image element, let's make sure the div is stretching full. let's see, we could play with this as far as Flexbox goes. Maybe if I do this, it may cause that div and that image to stretch fully. Let's see, I doubt it. And this is where you got to do some playing to get it right. Sometimes. There it is. I guess that did work. So doing the Flexbox, causing it to stretched it all the way to the edges. So there you go. This is how it looks on a big screen. And then as we shrink down, we can see how it looks on smaller devices. I would probably go and remove this spacing at this size. So just to be completely boring, where was that? That is in the, that's actually in the template. So if I'm back to the, I think this is the template. Is this the template? Let's see, this is the template because it's got the header and the inner content. So as we bring the inner content down, I just took a break there and played around with it. I'm not sure why the sizing isn't showing up for the inner content, because I should be able to change this margin based on the size. So what I'm doing is I'm getting around that by, so I'm on all devices here, and you can see there's the spacing. So I'm going to go down to like 992 in this element. But when I click back over, actually let's go one smaller, 768. You can see that space there. I'm still in this section, but now when I go to the inner content, if I get rid of that, I'll save it, and let's see if it disappears when I go back to, if it gets big again when I go back. So yeah, that space came back. So if I go back to the front end, I'm all over the place here. This should now shrink a little bit. There, that's gone now. And when I expand it, that space comes back when it gets to the bigger size. So it goes away here. And I could move this menu icon up here. There's tricks to do that, where you actually add a second menu that's visible only when it's in this state, and then it's hidden the rest of the time, and then I hide this one when it's in this state. So you've got actually two menus going. So this menu hides itself when it gets down to the small size, and then up here, there's actually another one of these menus up here that's hidden right now until it shrinks to this this one, and then it'll show up there. And you can do that with the properties panel over here. If I wanted to hide things, let's see, the header builder, I would go into the advanced and the layout, and so I could hide this guy, when it gets to 992. At this point, I could just have it to have a display of none. So now when it shrinks, oops, where am I here? So my menu's gone, but then I'd have that other menu up here as it got smaller. I'd have a little little menu button here, and probably move this to the left. So a little trick there to get the menu to position up there. Some people don't like it in the center. I don't love it in the center, but it's quick and easy, so I figured I'd go for it. So anyway, I think that's long enough. I went on probably way too far. Hopefully you get a feel for building a page in Oxygen. It's pretty easy. It's virtually drag and drop, put things where you want them, change the alignment, and then mess with the property inspector over here. So Terry Caliendo, Dedicated Managers. Here's our website here, dedicatedmanagers.com. If you need anything, if you need any help with any programming, or just you need a website built for you, or you need some custom programming, we'll get into the custom programming coming up and how much we can do with WordPress. and how awesome some of the back end stuff we can do programming wise to really make things pop and make management easier. So again, Terry Caliendo, Dedicated Managers, thanks for playing along. We'll see you around in the next video. Take care and have a happy day.